Happy Friday. Brian Manning here with this wonderful spring weekly update. Let's get right to it. Monday this week, pretty quiet news day. Tuesday this week, we got some information from the NFIB. So 48% of small businesses right now have employment positions that they can't fill. Certainly the labor shortage is real. It's being felt all around the country. But 48%, that's a pretty high number. 40% of businesses say that they are now have to pay more for their labor costs. And in return, they're going to pass these increased costs down to consumers. So this is just going to continue to put some additional pressure on inflation. Thursday this week, we got CPI. You know, we've been talking about inflation and the consumer price index for quite a while and talking about the numbers that we're replacing the year of 2020 with where we are in 2021. And here we go. This is exactly what we've been talking about. So inflation was the hottest number since 1992. The headline rate for inflation was up 5%, which is a extremely hot number. The core rate, which strips out volatile items such as food and energy, was up 3.8%. So, you know, normally this would have caused just turmoil in the bond markets because really inflation is just the enemy of interest rates. Usually you get a report like this and then it just crushes interest rates and they would go up. But we have the Federal Reserve with their version right now of quantitative easing. And even though they will not admit it, still on a monthly basis, they're buying an enormous amount of U.S. Treasuries and mortgage-backed securities. So they're essentially putting into place what's called yield curve control, meaning we're getting hot inflationary numbers, but mortgage rates and interest rates are really staying at really historic lows. And it's all because the Federal Reserve is very much buying a tremendous amount of mortgage-backed securities and U.S. Treasuries. There hasn't been much talk about tapering, although in the markets, there's a lot of talk about when is the Federal Reserve going to start tapering. But the Federal Reserve itself hasn't really made much in the form of announcements as far as tapering is concerned. But relatively soon, we have a two-day upcoming meeting at Jackson Hole. Jackson Hole is really kind of a spot where a lot of announcements take place for the Federal Reserve. So all eyes are going to be on Jackson Hole to see what happens there. Because it's crazy. You look at like used car sales on a month-over-month basis, used cars are up 7%. And on a year-over-year basis, they're up 30%. I mean, used cars are normally a depreciating asset, and right now, potentially you could trade in your car and make money, which is just unbelievable. Today, we get some information from CoreLogic. So CoreLogic tells us that on homes that have mortgages across the nation, home appreciation is up 20%. That's just a staggering number. And I wouldn't say right now yet that there's really a home affordability crisis. The challenge that we have is just limited inventory anywhere you go in the United States. Everybody that we talk to around the U.S. are just seeing just extremely tight supply of inventory. So up 20%, what do you do with your equity? Well, potentially someone that bought a house a year ago could refinance now and remove PMI. We also do a lot of debt consolidation because there's a tremendous amount of equity in homes as well. I'm around all weekend. If you have any questions, let me know. If you want to get pre-approved for a new mortgage, talk about refinancing, removing PMI, debt consolidation, etc., call me on my cell phone, text me. Happy Friday. Have a great day.